Hello and welcome, fellow human. My name is Zachary Stockill, and you are listening to Humans in Love, a podcast that looks at culture, relationships, and personal development from unconventional perspectives. Consider it self-improvement that doesn't take itself too seriously. Thanks for being here. Hello, fellow human. It's so good to be talking to you today, coming to you with episode 0 of my brand new podcast, Humans in Love. In this episode, I want to tell you a little bit about what my podcast is about, a tiny bit of background on me, and why I'm so excited to be talking to you today. And I'm so excited that you're listening to my brand new podcast. So, okay, where to start? Back in 2016, I had a show that maybe you were listening to. It was called Travels in Music. And basically, the show was a venue for smart, informed, relaxed conversations around music and around the history of music, around stories from musicians and artists of different kinds. And it was my music geekery show, in short. You know, I said on that show that music is and was my first love, and it will always be. And that will remain true forever. But I wanted to launch this new show, Humans in Love, because I found that the branding and the theme of Travels in Music was a bit too constricting, a bit too limiting for me. And I was realizing that I knew all of these people through my work, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and also just people, you know, I encounter in my travels and books I'm reading and authors I know. I know all these people that are not musicians, that don't have anything to do with music, but have really incredible stories to share. And these are people that I can learn from, and these are people that I know a much wider audience can learn from, people like you. So I started realizing around the midway point of my old show, Travels in Music, that I wanted to expand the conversation a bit. I wanted to talk about broader themes and broader subjects. And I wanted to have guests on the show who were not musicians, who had nothing to do with music, but were really interesting people and people whose stories deserve to be shared. So earlier this year, I started putting together episodes and starting to put together interviews for this brand new show called Humans in Love, which I'm so excited to share with you. This show is going to feature wide-ranging conversations with people about culture, relationships, and personal development. Some of you listening, especially if you were listening to my last show, Travels in Music, will wonder, well, why are you talking about relationships and personal development? Zach, short answer is, back in 2013, I wrote a book. It's very short. It's called Overcoming Retroactive Jealousy. And in short, it's basically a book about the most embarrassing episode of my life. It's about my struggle to overcome jealousy and possessiveness in my relationship as a young man. Ever since then, basically, ever since 2013, I've been writing and publishing and speaking about personal development. So a number of you will know me from my work on jealousy, and I'm really glad that you are listening as well. So I've kind of felt like I've had these two audiences. You know, I've had the one music people, the Travels in Music fans, and my other audience that is mostly people interested in relationships and personal development, and some of whom are interested in my thoughts on that stuff. So with this new podcast, I want to do the best I can to bring those two audiences together, to have conversations that are not, you know, in strict categories of this is about music or this is about personal development. I want to have conversations with people about how to be better versions of ourselves and learn from people and share my lessons, and hopefully, you know, you'll learn something too. So basically, that was a very long-winded way of saying that I'm going to have broader conversations on this podcast about themes relating to culture, relationships, and personal development. And just a disclaimer, there's going to be cursing sometimes. There's going to be very intimate discussions about sex, about sexuality. This is not a politically correct podcast. I have no interest in tiptoeing around certain issues. You know, when it's appropriate, I want to get into difficult questions around sexuality, around relationships, and I won't shy away from those topics or certain themes that some people might consider taboo. I want to have loose, relaxed, educated, informed discussions about a whole bunch of things. And I'm really excited to see where the show goes, how it will change, and how we can move forward together. So I'm very excited you're here. I am so grateful for your support and for your listenership. Please subscribe to the show and leave a rating and review as soon as you can. As you probably know, maybe you don't, the first 2 months of a podcast launch are absolutely critical, especially if, like me, you're trying to get on the iTunes new and noteworthy charts, if we can call them that. So please, if you like this show, subscribe, leave a rating and review, tell a friend. That would be even more helpful. Please help me spread the word. It would mean a great deal to me. And just a quick note, you'll notice that the theme song and the outro music for this podcast is the same song that I used for my last podcast, Travels in Music. Once again, I want to say thank you so much to the band Jungle Fire for letting me use their song. It's called Comencemos, Let's Start. You can find that on iTunes and everywhere music is sold pretty much online. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of this. Please don't shy away at any time from letting me know what you think. You can find more information about everything I just told you at humansinlove.com. And don't miss episode 1 featuring world-renowned Beatles expert Mark Lewison. Talk to you very soon.